It's been really foggy here the last few days. That's not snow on the trees, that's all frost from all the fog. It's been in the 20s, but we're still getting fog. And it's just a beautiful sight to see. It's going to be pretty in the woods today. Look at that. I love it. Out by me, it's beautiful right now. All the pines and hardwoods all frosted up. Gives the woods a magical look. Yesterday me and my boy, we put the axle in here, and everything's all hooked up now. This side here, it came as a assembly, as the axle, and the hubs came separately in a box. Had to put the wheel bearings in and all that good stuff. That cap was missing. I had to take it off the other axle, put on here. The end nut that holds the wheel bearing in, that nut was missing. The other side was there, and on the other side it's a whole different nut. This one's got a castle nut, the other one's got a regular nut. There's a thing that goes over the top of it. Well, this side, like I said, it was missing that nut, and it was missing that locker, so it can't back off. So I had to drill this out, put a cotter pin in it, and the nut on there is off the old axle. So he spent a bunch of money getting this thing made. He gave him all the right specs. There's the old one. And I got it centered within 1/8 of an inch on each side. Got everything tightened down, went to put the tires on, and the tires rub on the inside of the fender well. Can't even spin them. So probably gonna have to, if I put the tire on here without it rubbing, I can have the wheel sitting all the way to the end of these studs, and it'll still rub on the inside of that fender well. So the only way to cure it is we're gonna have to probably get some, I measured this here, got to come out about at least this far yet, and in order to do that we'll have to get some 2-inch wheel spacers, and these are 6-bolt Chevy style hubs on here. They're 6x5.5 bolt patterns, so they're common to find, but it's just ridiculous. The guy spends a whole bunch of money to get something made, give him all the measurements, and then this is what you get. And you still have to spend more money to make it right. And I literally cannot move it out of here, because if I take and take it off of those boards, or the board and the blocks there, the back end will just sink right to the ground, because there ain't nothing really holding it tire wise. So maybe I can, I don't know. I got the axle underneath it now, but before I couldn't move it at all. So I don't know what to do. Basically wait on more parts. Well, I'm just waiting on the machine to warm up right now. haven't had a lot of ambition to make any videos lately. I don't know. It's not as fun as it used to be, but with a new year comes new things, and hopefully I can get some more ambition going here, get some more videos pumped out for you guys. Friday I started up the machine, went to go start cutting wood, and thing had no power at all. Wasn't that it was cold out or anything, it was like in the teens at night and 20s during the day. But acted like the fuel was freezing up, and maybe we had gotten some bad fuel. So we put some power service in there, and I didn't straighten it out, so I ended up having to put new filters in it. And it seemed to run better after that. We'll see today, because it was at the end of the day when I put them in. We'll see today what it does, but I'm just waiting on it to warm up. And a couple weeks ago, my heater blower motor went out, so I had to run it a few days with no heat, which it wasn't that bad. Can't complain too much. It was a really simple fix where they got it at on that machine. That's probably the easiest fix we've had so far. Otherwise, it's been running pretty good. I've been making wood. There's probably 50-60 loads of popple on this job yet, and we're supposed to cut it all, but we can't hardly get to it because the ground's not freezing, which it's kind of an issue here. And on top of it, we can't get rid of all the popple either. Nobody's buying popple right now. We can only get rid of a few loads. We got some logs and some bolts here. We got a bolt pile. There's about a load in that pile, and then there's well over a load in that pile. They've only given us we only got 2 loads of popple this month, and then 2 loads next month, and 2 loads a month after. Well, we can't sit on this job for 3 months, so we're going to cut what we can of popple and keep on going. We got a little bit of firewood here. And then the hardwood's kind of adding up. It's a little slow, but it's kind of adding up. I think this is all we've accumulated, honestly. Not much. And then we had a load of 12s go out already. That's what's left. There's probably almost a load of 12s there yet. And then we got some oak logs here. Oak and hardwood bolts. I don't know if there's any hardwood bolts in there or not. Let's see here. Yes, there is. There's some cherry bolts down here and a couple of ash. There's a couple ash here. And a couple of cherry bolts. Rest looks like oak. And then I had a load of oak go out the other day. I gotta clean those guys up there. And then this here's the pine pulp pile, and we've had quite a few loads go out of that already, and there's over a load there. And I got probably a load laying on the ground. If I can switch this phone around here, I'll show you where I'm cutting. I'm on the other side of this swamp here. All the trees you see standing yet, that's all popple. Everything here is all popple. We're gonna end up having to leave it. But there was some hardwood and some oak in there. There's a bunch of hardwood on the ground yet. It ain't gonna make a load. But there was a stand of Scotch pine growing all the way through here. And there's only 3 left I gotta cut, and then I'll be going back through the hardwood that's in there. And then there's a red pine plantation back there that I wiped out what need to be cut out of it. There's only a couple trees that I had to leave because we have an order for some logs for a school. We're just waiting on confirmation to cut them yet. We need 4 21-foot red pine logs and like 32 11-foot 6-inch red pine logs down to 6 inches. So left a few standing over there so that I can make that order. And then I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a little bit greener right there. That's where those scotch are at that are left I gotta cut. There's just a few of them there. There's only 3. Otherwise there's a whole load of them laying on the ground throughout there. Maybe we can walk over there. A deer. Once you start cutting these tops, man, the deer just come in like crazy. We'll probably kick some up over here. I wouldn't doubt it none. I've only seen a few does. There's a bed right there. I'll follow this deer trail. Let's see here. Oh, it's brushy in here too. It sucks. I gotta try and get down into here because there's some hardwood in here I can cut. There's some elm. There's an elm here. Here's an elm. The maple all stay, but all the cherry goes. There's another elm there. But I gotta work my way down into this hole here. I'm gonna try and get down into here today. Try and wiggle my way through all this brush. Just follow the deer tracks. They know where to go. Okay. As far as you can see down there, I don't know if you can see the piles or not, but there's piles way down there all the way along, just like these here. I know they look like crap, but there's this double scotch left, and then those 2 there I gotta take out. I gotta try and work down into there today. And that way is a little bit more hardwood. But look at all the aspen in here. I mean, this is good cotton stuff. I could make a lot of wood in a day. This is real nice size aspen for running through the harvester. And you can't do nothing with it. I got some oak in here. My piles look like crap because there's only so many places you can go in here, and I'm trying to make it convenient for him to pick everything up, but there's so much brush, and I gotta take and pull the trees from different directions, so it kind of just piles in a mess. But I do the best I can, I guess. Like some of these here are pretty nice and easy for them to pick. Shouldn't only have to sit. I think you could come right here and get a whole entire skid just out of what you see here. And I don't think he'd even get this here a little bit on. There's a whole nother skid right in this spot here. But this is where I'm cutting at. So I'm gonna walk back over to the machine. I'm sure it's about ready to go, and start hammering them down again. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy 2021.